I keep trying to tell it straight, to put the noise in order. It starts with heat, not flame, heat rising through my boots while the whole camp watched the gray sky for a break. I was in the orange suit because I drew the short straw and because I said yes faster than anyone else. That's the part I can't clean up. I wanted to be the one. I wanted to prove I wasn't the kid who froze when Dad went into the cannery boiler and didn't come back out. We were 20 years into the geothermal build-out, long enough that people called it old news unless you lived under the wall like we did. The plant we serviced sat on the coast where the landfill once was. We'd drilled with microwave rigs, gyrotrons, melting rock to glass and setting our loop right beside a magma vein. Closed system, supercritical CO2 instead of water, all sealed, all clean. The exchange mile down fed turbines and the turbines fed the wall. Lights, pumps, filters, Luna's asthma meds. That was the real grid. When the pressure alarms climbed, they were high, overlapping whistles. Every head turned. A lot of kids stopped sorting scrap. Sam waved me over, his face gray under the helmet glass. "Silica scale seized gate 3, he said. "If it sticks, the loop cooks. We vent." His voice was flat, which meant he was scared. "Vent to the sump?" I asked. The sump was the old brackish aquifer. We kept it for emergencies. Vent there, and the water above us would flash into steam and come up wherever it found a crack, meaning the camps could fill with hot vapor that scalds lung tissue. "You'll have to open the secondary first," Sam said. "Manual, the actuator shot." I heard Luna cough behind the fence. I didn't look at her. If I looked, I'd remember I was 10 again, holding the bent wrench, watching men run, thinking Dad would walk out like always. So I went. The service shaft was a tight metal tube with ladder rungs and pipes that ticked. My gloves slipped on the rungs because I'd sweated straight through them. The suit's cooler fought, dumping heat along my spine. In my ear, Amina read me numbers from topside. "Pressure at gate 3 is peaking. Squeeze the guide slot, not the valve head, or you'll shear it." "Yeah," I said. I tried to make my voice light. "I like our lights. I like breathing." 100 meters down, the shaft opened into the access gallery. The air tasted like metal and salt. The valve wheel was about the size of a dinner table. White crust rimmed the stem where silica had locked it in place. I slotted the torque collar around the stem, my light giving me a flat circle of yellow. The whole chamber carried a slow, deep vibration you feel more than hear. The lines were near capacity. "Luna's still at the fence," Amina said. "She says to tell you not to be stupid." The collar slipped and scraped my knuckles. For a second I felt detached, watching myself down there. Small, shaking, dusty. I wanted to climb back up, write this off as bad luck, let Sam hit the big vent topside and let the steam go where it went. I could say I tried. I could say I did what I could. I put both hands on the collar and leaned. The stem didn't budge. My chest went tight the way it did when the cannery alarms used to start. I could hear their pitch in memory and the slam of the door that locked behind Dad when he went in. Everything inside me told me to retreat. I breathed in and counted to 4, which is what the camp nurse taught me after the panic season. I pictured Luna's hands cupped around the spacer for her inhaler. I hated that plastic spacer. It made this tiny squeak when she breathed in. I pushed. A piece of the scale fractured with a dry snap. I tried again, slower this time, finding the catch and easing past it, quarter turn by quarter turn. Hot mist leaked from a hairline in the seal and made the collar slip in my grip. The gauge on my wrist edged down. "Secondary is easing," I said. "Hold 5 more degrees," Amina said. "Then jog the valve and get out." I gave it 5. The floor thumped once under my boots. Not an earthquake, just pressure settling. I pulled the collar free and started up the ladder. The lights cut for a moment. In that darkness came a high, glassy ping from somewhere deep. My heart jumped into my throat. Then my ear filled with Sam's voice. Gate 3 unsticking, pressure falling. Don't vent the sump. Repeat, do not vent. You bought us time. It wasn't over. To clear the scale, we had to pulse the loop. That meant opening and shutting in a rhythm so the supercritical CO2 scoured the deposits without damaging the exchanger. We drill with microwaves because they couple into rock. Scale resists. I climbed to the mid-landing where the manual latch for the pulse sat. I could do the timing there. I was shaking so hard the latch doubled. On your mark, Sam said. Count me, I said. I needed someone to keep the seconds so I wouldn't rush. He counted. I worked the latch. Open 2, close 1, open 3, close 2. After 5 pulses, I felt a steady flow past my boots. It filled the gallery with a low, even roar that wasn't an alarm. I started crying then, inside the helmet, fogging my glass, salt on my lips. I wiped with the back of my glove and kept working the latch. It was the kind of crying that makes your jaw ache, but I couldn't stop. The sound leveled out. The gauges went green one by one. I shut the latch and waited for the echo to fade. Surface, Amina said, voice soft. You should see this. When I came out of the shaft, everything was wet. Not with steam, with rain. The vent heat had hit the marine air and built a cloud over the camp. It wasn't scalding. It was cool and heavy. Kids were laughing and slipping in the mud. An old freighter beyond the breakwater rose a little as the pressure undersea balanced. A bright band showed under its hull. It looked unreal even though I knew the numbers. And the wall, our wall of stacked rooms and patched panels, lit up in slow ripples as the turbines caught. Window by window, strip by strip, until every window and strip glowed across the rust. Luna hopped the fence. She ran at me and slammed into the suit so hard my knees bent. She pulled my helmet against her chest and I could feel her ribs moving. You weren't stupid, she said. You were brave. I wanted to tell her that brave is just a name people give you afterward. Inside the shaft, I had been scared the whole time. I wanted to tell her I went down there because I was tired of reliving the door closing, but I just rested my helmet on her shoulder and let the rain drum on the glass. Sam walked over, wet hair pasted to his forehead, and gave a thumbs up toward the sky. We'll need to redesign Gate 3, he said. Add a sacrificial coating, maybe ultrasonic clean. Make it pretty, I said, voice raw. He laughed. Functional first, pretty comes later. Years from now, when people talk like the geothermal build was inevitable, as if it had always been simple, I'll think of that climb and the steady heat under me. The plant didn't save us. People did. Our hands on cold metal, our lungs pulling air, our stubborn hearts. I still wake some nights to the ping of glass in the deep. I still taste metal and salt when I remember. But when the turbines spin, there's a sound under everything in the camp that I listen for. It is steady. It is low. It is the plant running, and us learning how to work with it. This has been The Sound Under Everything. Thank you for listening.